Hi guys, Squirrel here. Welcome back to some Car Mechanic Sim 2018. I've been doing a little bit of grinding because I didn't want to carry on. I normally show every sort of thing that I do in these sort of games, being a kind of a let's play. But Car Mechanic can get a little bit grindy, so I've grinded a few cars just to give us some more points. Not too much, just to give us another 3 skill points. The cars I did were mostly just grindy. There was one slightly interesting one, which was like a V8, but we'll get another V8 later, so it's no biggie. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to this thing so that we can expand our garage. So we've got 3 points to spend, and I need to work out what points to spend on the way to here. I've been looking at the options. We've got these things which are sort of, 100% faster screwing and unscrewing, which is obviously very, very useful. Very useful, because you do this all the time. You've then got this thing here, which is the electronic tester. Checks all the electronic connections and resistances. Can be useful through the Pi menu. You've got this one, which is the OBD scanner. This tests for electronic computer connected parts. So between them, these things will do a lot of electric stuff. You've got this one, which is a compression tester, which can be used on the head, the block, and the piston. So that gives you, if you get repairs that say, oh, there's a problem, it's not getting enough power, it can often be something to do with the pistons and things like this. This will test that one. This one here is ominous. 5% more income from finished orders. Now, the last order I finished, the big one I finished, I got 24k for, which another 5% on top of that would be about 1200, which is quite a lot. That's going to add up pretty quickly, so, this is very, very tempting. Now, in order to get to this one here, I assume I have to link through. I'm not sure how this works. I assume I have to have something here before I can get something here, so I can't... I can unlock this one. Does that mean I can then unlock that one? I don't know. So, for example, if I click unlock on this... Can I now unlock that? No, I can't. Upgrade cost 1, available skill points 2 of 8. Do I need to get this one first? The OBD scanner? Will that allow me to do it? No. So, I don't know. I don't quite understand how that works. You can reset your points and just do them again. I'm just trying to figure out how to get this thing done. 12. It says 12. Available skill points 8. So, I guess I need to get 12 points to get this one. Alright, so I've only got 8, so... Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be grinding for a little while. In that case, let's grab this one. So now we've got 0 out of 8 points. Which is weird, because if that's the case, how did I get this, which requires 9? That's slightly confusing. Okay, if I just reset that... $7,000? I don't think so. Wish I'd have known that before I clicked through. Okay, so we've got 100%, we've got the OBD, and we've got improved value. We'll just have to wait and see how this one works, because I'm just not sure how that works. But anyway, let's go and have a look at the jobs. Right, let's scroll down to the kind of the big one, which will be this thing here without a timer on it. I have come back from a party, and it seems that I fell into a well. Well, it happens, doesn't it? I find that I come back from parties and just fall into wells. They're quite common. Please assess the damage and repair what you can because it's my father-in-law's car. So this guy took his father-in-law's BMW Roadster, sorry, FMW Roadster, and fell into a well with it. That's like the dog ate my homework. That's the worst excuse I've ever heard. Imagine saying that to an insurer. Wow, what have you done to these rims? Oh my god, dude. I have to say though, your father-in-law does not have good taste in colour. A bright cyan colour and like horrible olive leather seats? I don't think so. Right, that's a big list of stuff. We've got our work cut out. Let's have a look at an overview, see if we can spot anything. No. Can't really see very much at all. I think possibly the thing to do is let's take it around the test track. And see if we can find any kind of problems. There's bound to be problems with the wheels. I'm trying to figure out if he's broke the suspension. If he went down a well, who knows? Oh, this is lively. This is pretty lively. Whee! It's a lot of fun. Whoa, this thing wants to go. Oh my god! Oh my god! My car's upside down. Well, so much for his Roadster. I think I just made it worse. How do we do this? Restart? Never managed to do that before. You'd think I'd just caused like £50,000 worth of total damage there, but never mind. Oh, nipping through the chicane. Let's go a little bit easier through this bit. That's better. Oh, this is fun, man. I'm liking this car. His father-in-law bought the right car, just the wrong colour. Oh, the brakes are not very good, though. Look at that. You just stop inside the area and you get a brake test. Love how that works. Yeah, we'll just ignore the flippage. The damage I did to his little Roadster. It had no roll cage or anything. I wouldn't want to be in a Roadster and flip it over. Blimey. Alright, that's a whole bunch of stuff that is not broken. Inner tie rod, outer tie rod, and the front axle. Excuse me, that's a whole lot of stuff that is fine. Suspension, all kinds of bits and pieces. So I'm kind of thinking this is more of an engine damage problem, which is weird if you fell down a well. We can see that the rims are completely broken. Just wondering whether to stick it on the path test. I don't think it's going to tell us anything interesting. Move car. Suspension and brake parts, which we already did. So let's just stick it on the lifter. Actually, I've got my, what did I get now? OBD? Where's it gone? Tablet. Assemble, interior. Inventory. Do you have to get inside the car to do the OBD thing? Wait, did we unlock the OBD? Unlocks OBD scan. It will examine a lot of electronic connected parts not working on older cars. Well, this is a new one. You can use the pie menu while in the part overview. Overview. What the heck? Okay, let me put the car back over there so we can get inside. Maybe you can only do it from inside. That's where you'd normally plug the OBD in, I think. Come on, get in. Start the car, normal mode, drive the car. This is not exactly obvious, is it? Tablet. It's not what we want. Assemble car. Interior disassemble. Move the car. Overview. Car status. Okay, I don't get it. I don't get it. How do you access the OBD? I don't know. Let's pop the your bonnet on this thing, see if we can figure out what's going on. Maybe I have to select the engine to do it. Part mount examine mode. Where's the OBD option? It says it's on the pie menu. It's blatantly just a lie. It's blatantly a lie. Okay, I don't like this, because now we're just into massive guesswork over what's wrong. Did that look okay? Let's have a look at those. Nah, they all look fine. See, I'm thinking if you fell down a well, it's going to be more physical than engine related. And yet loads of parts here are just not even broken. I mean, I can see the suspension's wrecked. Let's start disassembling the stuff we know is broken and see what it reveals. There's probably, like, in that parts list, there's probably just loads of bushings and all kinds of things. Tell you what, that's a lot faster at unscrewing things. I'm liking that. Let's get the outer tie rod out of there. Yeah, look at it all. It's all this stuff. Just loads of it. Get the bearing out, and you can get that out. And you can get the knuckle. Okay, so we can't get this out until we get that off, the suspension arm off, and we can't get the suspension arm off unless we go underneath. Now that's interesting because that side actually looks pretty good. It looks like he went down a well on one side to me. Wow, the speed of that. That is so worth it, that upgrade. Oh my god. Brake pads off there. Exhaust looks pretty rip as well. Get the shock off there. Looks like this suspension arm's broken, which means the whole suspension's going to have to come out of here. Definitely wrecked the spring cap. That's an underneath job. Sway bar's going to have to come out so that we can get access to the knuckle housing. Okay, wheel hub. That's the annoying thing about some of this stuff is, you know, on a car in general. If there's a part that's broken, you know, the part itself is not that expensive, but getting to that part is a real pain, and that causes a massive labour charge, you know. Often the way with cars. Okay, can we take out that bushing? Looks like we need to go underneath to get this before we can get the knuckle housing on this one. Take that out. Yeah, right, let's pop it up. Now, one thing I want to check before we do that. Repair minimal parts condition 100%. Alright, so we're going to watch out for that. You know, we can take a bushing off and it'll be like 88%, but we have to replace it with 100%. It's that kind of order. Let's take the exhaust pipe and the muffler, because they're both completely ripped. Let's take the suspension arm out of there. Yeah, it's definitely a left side damage, this one. Okay. Does anything else look toasted from here? It all looks okay. Let's go down the front now. And we'll take out the lower suspension arm, which will allow us to take off this knuckle. And the sway bar's going to have to come out. The whole shock's going to have to come out. We'll have to disassemble the shock as well. Looks like the rad's broken as well. Okay, everything else looks fine. Let's pop it back down and get that rad out of there as well. I don't know how he managed to damage this, if I'm honest with you. Okay. Now let's have a look at the parts list now. If there's anything we've not identified. So there's 3 things here that we've not identified. Now that could be down to the fact that one's a component part. So if we separate these things out, we can see that 2 of them are here. So we'll disassemble that. Another one could be the wheel. So if the wheel, like the tyre's damaged or the rim, that can often be the thing as well. Let's take part. Let's have a look at this. Separate, yeah, 20% on the rim there. We'll have to disassemble these and rebalance them. At the moment, I'm just trying to get it so we've identified all the parts. Let's remove that. Separate that one as well. Okay. If we look at this now... Part not discovered. Are you kidding me? I don't like it when that happens. That could be down to things like rubber bushings. Oh, stop it, game. Could be things like that. Although they don't look particularly broken to me. Let's see what that does. That's identified one of them. So we've still got two more. It's going to be two more little sneaky things like that. Could be these guys here, possibly. Let's take those out. Such a pain when you get something like that. Because it's like a physical damage problem, normally you can sort of see from the outside, you don't get any damage internally to the engine. You just get stuff. I mean, that one looks fine. Yeah, that was the bushing, see. There you go, so that's identified everything. Good. Good, good, good. Now we've got everything identified, we can start swapping parts out. So let's sort by name. So brake calipers, we will need a couple of brake calipers. We need a brake disc and a brake disc ventilated. That's interesting, so that must be rear. Okay, let's do that. Caliper. If I can spell it correctly, that would help. Okay, brake caliper, we want two of those. We want brake disc, one normal, one ventilated. Okay, let's have a look at where we are now. So there's two calipers, let's get rid of those two. We have a brake disc. That'll be fine. Brake disc ventilated. Because we don't need to replace those, it's only if they're red that we need to replace them, and if we replace them, they have to be 100% condition replacements. Let's see what we've got here. We've got an exhaust pipe. I think we needed a muffler as well. Might as well find that while we're in this list. Oh, where's the exhaust muffler gone? There it is. Rear muffler 14 and an exhaust pipe. Let's go with muffler. Rear muffler 14 is that one. And an exhaust pipe is that one. I should take care of that. Yep, exhaust pipe confirmed. Rear muffler 14 confirmed. Let's see now. That's the top bit done. Front axle knuckle cover. And a front wheel hub. Let's do those. Front axle knuckle cover. And a front wheel hub. Front axle knuckle cover done. Front wheel hub is done. Okay, radiator A. Looks like the fan housing's okay, as is the radiator. So just a radiator A to do. Radiator A. That could take care of the rad stuff. Righty then, let's get on with the suspension things. Let's see, we've got a front steering knuckle A and a rear axle knuckle housing A. So we have a front and a rear knuckle A, basically. Front steering knuckle A and rear axle knuckle housing A. It's a mouthful. Right, front steering knuckle A and a rear axle knuckle housing A. Trouble is, if you get this wrong, it's like expensive mistakes, you know? Right, let's get rid of that one. Rear axle knuckle housing A, we'll get rid of that one. Front drive D and a front shock absorber. Front drive axle D and a front shock absorber. I'm guessing we need the cap as well. Front drive axle D, that's identified correct. Front shock absorber and a front shock absorber cap. We definitely do need. Grab one of them. Okay. Right then, inner tie rod and an outer tie rod and a lower suspension arm. So inner tie rod, outer tie rod, and a lower suspension arm. Inner tie's done, suspension arm's done, outer tie's done. We're getting there. Right, rear shock absorber A, rear suspension arm, and rear suspension arm A. That's a lot of stuff going on here. Rear shock A, rear suspension A. Well, we've got both an arm and an arm A. That's interesting. Rear shock absorber A, rear suspension arm A. Rear shock absorber A. Rear suspension arm and a rear suspension arm A. Got a feeling we need that upper one as well. Rear suspension arm is done. Suspension arm A is done. Shock absorber is done. No, we didn't need the upper. It's a good job I didn't buy that. Rear suspension arm B is needed though. Okay. Let's see. We need two rims. Rim Classic 6 18 ET0. Rim Classic 6 18 inch ET0. Let's see. Rim Classic 6 18 inch ET0 2 of ordered. Get rid of the old ones. Now, rubber bushings. I already had some surplus ones, so I'm going to get rid of those 3 old rubber bushings. Now you can see I've got a bunch of normal ones in decent condition. But I'm going to buy some more. I'll probably sell all my parts at the end of this. Right, a spring cap, and I think we're almost done. Spring cap. Okay, let's have a look. It's all in the green. Everything's in the green, so... Right then. First things first, let's reassemble this, this, and this. You start doing that while we pop over to here. And we'll install that rim on that tyre, because the tyres are fine, he just wrecked his rims. Let's take that. Let's take that, kick off the balance. Install a new one. Come on. Kick that off. And we'll jump over here and we'll pop this up, I think. Let's start by fitting the exhaust. So we'll go into part mount. Right, 100% exhaust. It's 100% knuckle housing cover A. Let's get on the suspension arm with 100% and 100%. Yes. Bolt that in. 100% shocks going in. 100%, 100%. Just making sure everything's on 100%, because if it's not, it won't take it, and then you'll be like, oh my god, I have to disassemble it all again. It's a pain. 100% done. I get to drop in that rubber bushing, which is on 100%. It's so easy to miss out those little rubber bushings, like this one here. Suspension arms going in. Cap on. Then goes the spring. Okay. Brake disc is on 100. Brake pads are fine. Brake caliper is fine. This is not 100%, but it didn't need replacing because it wasn't red, so that will be fine. Let's get the... Again, same for that, it wasn't 100%. Okay, that's most of the stuff done here, I believe. So we've got a rubber bushing missing here, 100%. We have a sway bar to stick on. And then that leaves us with the wheel, which we have one that's brand new and balanced. Okay. So if we quick look at the car status now. Yep, bunch of stuff is all done. All the rear things should be ticked off. The rear spring is not ticked off. Why is the rear spring not ticked off? Now, why are you... You're on 80%, so you wanted that replacing as well. That's interesting. Cap's at 100. Okay. Rear spring. That was unexpected. Let's get rid of the 80% one. What about the spring cap as well was ticked, okay. So that's on 89%, the rear shock absorber cap. Did it also want that one replacing? Rear shock. Rear spring. Rear shock absorber A. I wish this thing was in order. It doesn't appear like it necessarily wants it. Rubber bushing 89%. I'm tempted to buy some more of those and make sure we've got 100% ones. It wouldn't hurt at this stage. Quick look around. Let's go and grab our wheel. I'm sure there'll be some things at the end of this that need fixing. These story kind of mode ones tend to be a lot more involved. And there's always something that you miss. 100%. See, that's on 88, but I don't think it needs replacing unless it identifies it. That rubber bushing's on 89%. You don't have to go through these things. tie rod. Okay. Let's get the knuckle cover on. Let's get the wheel hub back on. Brand new drive axle going in. Again, I don't know if the caliper needed replacing or not. We'll double check in a second. Right, before we put the wheel back on, let's have a look at what it thinks is in need of replacement. So we'll go with that. So we see we need to take that suspension back out. We're going to go with this. The front spring apparently needed replacing. Rim Classic 6 we've not done yet, so that's fine. One rubber bushing here, here, and here. And that's the radiator, 1 second. So there's a couple of rubber bushings that it's being a bit faff about. These things here. Because we haven't put those in yet. That's 100%. That's 100%. Okay, so that should take care of those two. Here's the thing, I thought we'd done this. Maybe we didn't. Accessible from the engine bay. Looks like I didn't actually take that off. Oh, you're kidding me. Tried to be careful, but the front spring, which was at 89%, it was being a real pain about, and I actually wanted to have 100% replacement on that. So even though it wasn't red, because it was part of something that needed fixing, every part apparently has to then be on 100%. I assumed it was okay, and I was wrong. Okay. It's a completely new suspension set, so it can't grumble at that. Let's see if we've got any... That one's done. Okay, we can now untick a few things here. That one can come off, that can come off, that can come off. Okay, the radiator we can put back on when we get into the engine bay. So we've got rear shock absorber caps and things. Everything's down at the back now, apart from the radiator. And put the sway bar back on, and then we can put the wheel back on. Tyre, 88%. Is it going to be okay with that, I wonder? Don't remember seeing the tyre listed. Suspension arm, radiator A, no, that's fine. So the tyre didn't want to be on 100%, but the spring did. This game is strangely inconsistent. Okay, so apparently this needed to be replaced at 100%. As did that. Okay, the rear suspension upper arm, which is the one that I thought I needed to buy, but I didn't because it was on 84, does need to be bought. So rear shock absorber cap and a rear suspension upper arm. Rear suspension upper arm. And a rear shock absorber cap. Nearly done. It's been a long, interesting job, this one. Should get paid quite well for it as well. Rear shock absorber cap can go on, it's 100%. Okay, let's have a look at the car status now. So we can get rid of that, get rid of that. So they're only left with the radiator, which is fine. Drop that back down. there a secondary list for this thing? No, just the primary list. 100% rad. The whole fan housing thing didn't need to be done, so that's all good. Have a look at the order. Order complete. Money spent 2,900. Task bonus 1,000. Job bonus 1,000. Total payment 5,300. We are on 3656 up here out of 4189 experience. And we're now on 38 out of 41. So we still don't have any more points to spend, but nevertheless, that was a fairly interesting job. And we have progressed on a little bit more. That was a long job. Hope you enjoyed that one. It took about half an hour to fix that thing, but that was the kind of major thing at this level, I think. So that's hence why it took a bit longer. Hope you enjoyed the vid, guys. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. Until the next one, take care. Happy fixing.